So happy December. I'm so glad that all of you have been completely 100% successful in Edwene Gaines' assignment last week about the 21 days of gratitude, right? None of you have complained since then, have you? Wow, you're much better people than me, because Ty is very fond now of going, up, day one, up, day one, up, start over. And, you know, that's a great exercise that is taught by a lot of wisdom teachers, a lot of wise sages around the world, because the ultimate goal in being mindful of where you are and that complaining and whatnot is that as we progress towards that awareness, and as in that moment of awareness that we create and change and choose a different thought, that the more successful that we become with that, the more consistent that we become with that, we get to a place of transcendence. Transcendence. Transcendence being the inherent nature of you and I. It's literally like going home. It's returning to your greatness. And the thing that separates us from that eternal homecoming is the choices or the belief in the idea that something outside of us has control, or something outside of us can diminish our experience. And so when we play this mindful game about not complaining and then becoming aware of that, it's really a beautiful thing. Because what it is supporting us in doing is to move to that place of transcendence. We also saw Marianne Williamson, their longtime friend. And what I love about Marianne is she's very fond of the Gestalt method of teaching. Meaning that she'll have a chair here and a chair here, and she will have these two seemingly opposing energies talk to one another. Maybe some of you have done that in a therapy session where you've talked to a chair and it was your mother, you know, or talked to a chair and it was your father. And she looked out at this big audience last Monday night and she said, "Is there anyone from Israel here?" And it's Los Angeles, so you know, somebody raises their hand, yes. And then she looked at, "Is there anyone from Palestine here?" And there was, and she brought them up. And she had them sit into these two chairs and look at one another. And she said, "Tell your story." And so she gave permission for the Israeli gentleman to tell his story. And when he was done, she said, "I want you to know that this is true for him." Do you get that? No one's taking away the fact that this is true for him. Then she let the woman who was from Palestine spoke. When that was done, she said the same thing. You realize this is true for her. Okay? And she said, but here's the thing. Until you and I rise above that, the history. Because one of the phrases that she uses is that God does not participate nor know the battleground. Meaning that that which is the infinite nature that only knows truth and light cannot even recognize the battleground. And so in order for us to heal as a people, in order for this conflict to dissolve, it can't be dissolved and it can't be resolved in the level of the energy of the battleground. And then you have to ask, what will it take? How will there exponentially be enough people on both sides to be able to rise above the energy of the battleground or the history and move into the mystery of what could be? That has just as much relevance for you as it does for those individuals in the Middle East. Why? Because you and I are doing the same thing. We are trying to resolve things at times from the level of this battleground, fixing it in the world of effect. And as long as we do that, we realize that there is a stagnation. There is not a movement forward. I got a message from my nephew this week, and he got fired, and he was really angry. Really angry. And understandably so. And I looked at a post that he put on Facebook, and I saw people's response to it. And this was the other thing that came to me in the shower this morning, because a lot of people said, don't worry, God has a plan. Don't worry, Todd, God has a plan. And in the shower this morning, what came to me, and this is going to sound really radical, and you can agree with me or not. You ready? God does not have a plan. Ooh, that just went out on live stream. Think about it. God, your understanding of God, that which is intelligence, does not have a plan. A plan is not needed. A plan indicates that something futurized will come and fix it for you. Some helping hand will come when you wake up, when you deserve it, when there is an intercessor that will come and fix it and make it all better. It's all better now. It's all better now. But to think that something outside of us must come and make that happen for us is giving way to the idea that you're still rooted in the battleground. The battleground being less than. And so it takes a little bit of, I'll call it spiritual gumption to really own that for yourself. And to stop waiting for the plan. But it's not enough for you and I to then stop at that and go, wow, who am I? Who am I to have any influence? That's not my problem. Well, guess what? We're all connected. And here's the part. It's when you and I get it. When you and I own our possibility. Not only do you then rise above the battleground of thought, but exponentially you influence all of those around you. Not from preaching, not from saving, not from proselytizing, but from knowing. From knowing. And that's the beauty of what it is that we do. That's the beauty of community. That's the purpose for coming together. So what I know is that the mystery is where all possibility resides.